Medfit Rehab founder Joanne James is a medical exercise specialist. Medfit Rehab, restoring strength and movement, making a difference in people's lives. 647-259-5481. Columbus Center, Athletic Department, Dufferin and Lawrence, medfitrehab.com. Joanne James, medical exercise specialist for over 25 years and founder of Medfit Rehab, says exercise is medicine whenever possible, and it is especially true when it comes to osteoporosis prevention or management. James says that our bones are alive and need to be stimulated. When the muscle contracts, when we apply force against our bones, they build. Medfit Rehab, ensuring the best in post-rehab functional conditioning services. Medfit Rehab, Columbus Center, Athletic Department, Dufferin and Lawrence, 647-259-5481, medfitrehab.com. Hi, Joanne. How are you this morning?
Oh, it's Michelle. It's Friday.
Oh, it's Michelle. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's okay. It seems like we just saw each other, and we did. So that's terrific. How are you doing today? How are you feeling? Are you feeling any better? You were tired when I saw you.
Yeah. No, I'm fine. Thank you.
That's good. Okay. So exercise for foot pain. Is there an exercise for foot pain?
Yes.
What is it?
There can be. Well, it depends on what the cause of the foot pain is. It seems there's a lot of people experiencing plantar fasciitis of late. It's almost an epidemic.
Okay.
So the first thing is to determine what exactly is causing the foot pain. Is it foot pain because you've been walking a lot or you had new shoes, or is it something more structural? Once you get that underway, then you can figure out which muscles need the strengthening. And generally speaking, for most people, it's the arch. We need to strengthen our arch. So some people might be familiar with the barefoot exercises where you scrunch a towel or something with your toes, or you just turn over on your foot so that you actually lift your arch, right? It's really important. The feet have so many muscles in there, and there's so many neural signals that we have to feel through the feet, and most people don't feel them because they're using their shoes, right? So the other thing, if you want to think about preventing foot pain, if you're lucky enough to be able to be in that situation, it is nice if you can be barefoot sometimes. You're a little bit more grounded, a little bit more in touch. You can spread out the toes. That's why people like yoga and Pilates, because you can actually feel.
That's what Joanne was mentioning the other day. But, with the surfaces of where we're working out, there's always the danger of some sort of infections or whatever. So what do you do about that? You lay down a towel, you lay down a mat. What do you do?
Well, you can do that. And again, we're talking about barefoot. If you're going to be barefoot, I'm talking about in a controlled environment, if you have your own mat or you're in a clean place. We're not suggesting, again, barefoot, out and about town, right?
Absolutely.
But it's a good idea. And also even if it's minor foot pain, sometimes rolling, having a little bit of pressure on the foot. So if you take a can, even if you don't drink pop per se, but if you have a cold can and you just gently roll your foot over it, especially the heel and the arch, you can actually really reduce some of the aches and the pains and still refresh your foot at the same time. So there are lots of things to do. Again, it's always specific, as always everything is at MedFit, in terms of what exactly is causing the pain and if, in fact, you're in an acute phase or it's a more chronic situation.
What if it's gout or something? There are a lot of people who have
yes.
gout, and I'm not even really sure how that happens and how you deal with it. I think it's much more serious than that. I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the thing. If I started off by talking about plantar fasciitis, where it's very limited to the foot. If it's systemic to some other disease, then most definitely you have to, as with anything, get a diagnosis, get an examination from your doctor or whatnot, and find out what it is. Because, for example, when we see people with diabetes, they can have a lot of foot issues too. So you have to look at what else is going on in the body.
Okay, so you have to work with the practitioner with regard to what he suggests or she suggests, and then you can take it from there. But in situations of that kind, always consult your physician, right?
That's right, and your MedFit professional.
Okay. All right, so therefore, I don't really know, like if you have an ankle problem or you've twisted your ankle or if you've, what are some of those are things that can be healed with your help?
Yes, they could be. A lot of people that have ankle issues, if they say they've sprained it or they've just turned over on it, it's a proprioceptive focus that we have to have, meaning you have to balance. And again, that comes into play. The ankle, of course, is very much related to the foot, as is everything. But if you have ankle instability, which is very common, doing balancing exercises are very important because you have to be able to determine where your body is in space, and you have to be able to have some confidence and be able to bear weight. Because again, if you've had an ankle injury or a foot injury, bearing weight is, that's a classic sign of if you've really done some damage when you can't bear weight. That's often how people determine whether they've just turned on their ankle or whether they've sprained
All right.
it.
Well, thank you so much for that information, and please get in touch with Medfit Rehab and get the type of guidance that you need to go forward. Thank you, Michelle. Feel great all weekend, and we'll talk to you next Friday.
You bet. Thanks a lot,
Zelda.
Zelda.
Bye.
Joanne James, founder and medical exercise specialist of Medfit Rehab, will improve your overall health through medical exercise. Contact Joanne James, 647-259-5481, Columbus Center Athletic Department, Dufferin and Lawrence, medfitrehab.com.